Here we go, guys. Let's let it get started. Let's get that hair ready. Let's get that mohawk hawking for this one. This is a big one. It is. It is. It is. It is. All right, that's enough time. Let's get it started. Guys, welcome back to my live stream. I have a huge announcement to make, and I actually have a couple things to be thankful for. And I'm going to be thanking all of you right now live in this stream. The first thing I want to say thank you for is, I don't know if you noticed, but my channel now has 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers! It only took 8.5 years, but just think about that. I mean, for me, an underground solo YouTuber, my little corner on the internet, my virtual playground, has 10,000 subscribers now. And that feels really good to know. So thank you for that. As I've said from the beginning, this has never been a numbers game for me. I was never in this to be like, oh, let's try to get the most subscribers. My goal has always been to make the most positive impact that I can on the lives of as many people as possible. Those are the numbers that matter to me. But I assume that if people subscribe, I'm having some sort of positive impact on them. So that makes me really happy to know. 10,000 people from around the world. So I know I make a lot of people happy. I know I make a lot of people feel good. And guys, that honestly makes me feel good. It really does. And seeing those kind of numbers, that definitely feels good too. So thank you for 10K subs. That's a lot for an underground influencer like me, like I said. I feel like an underground legend now, thanks to you guys all following me like that. And the other thing I want to say thank you for, because like I said, there's more than one thing, is for the back-to-back record-breaking views these past few months. So the entire time I've been a channel, for the entire lifetime of it, which I said is 8.5 years now, in April, I got the most views. I broke a new record for most views in 1 month. And then the very next month, well, actually, it started in March. March was the new record. And then the next month in April, it broke the record for March. So it was like 1 month it was a new record, then the next it was a new one. And then now in May that just passed, that was also a new record. So it was back to back to back record views. And again, it makes me really happy to see that. I do my best to put out as much content as I can. I've really been having fun posting shorts. They're quick and easy, just like doing these live streams. That's a lot easier than getting the big camera and filming a video and editing and rendering it and posting. I still can just do it live like this. It's really fun to do. So thank you for 10K subs. Thank you for the back-to-back-to-back most views in 1 month. And of course, more views means more ad revenue, and that always helps out a lot. Helps me to continue doing this full time, and making that impact, like I said, is my goal on the lives of the most people that I can around the world. And I have been busy, which is a good thing, keeping me busy, filming a lot of video commissions behind the scenes. Been doing a lot of those lately. Been posting a lot on my Patreon. And I also wanted to point out, as you probably saw from the title of this stream, it just so happened that I got 10,000 subscribers in the month of June. And what do we know the month of June to be? It's Pride Month. And I'm not homosexual myself, but I still celebrate this month, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I think this month is about having pride in your overall identity. I know some people out there probably just see it as like, oh, Pride Month is just a month for gay people to celebrate being gay and go out and parade on the streets. But I see things from a bigger perspective and the more important meaning that is actually behind it. And identity is such a diverse thing. as I've talked about on this channel a lot of times. And there's just so many what I like to call alternative identities out there. So of course there is gay and bisexual, there's transgender, there's asexual, and then there's even, like, you know, let's just say guys who are straight. They prefer women, they only date women, they want to have a family with only women, but they also have that wild side to them. You know, maybe there was that one time that they ended up in a situation with somebody of the same gender and they enjoyed the experience. And that didn't necessarily like change them or turn them. They didn't identify as differently. They still identify as straight. They still have that preference for women and want to start a family with a woman. But now they're more open-minded. They say, hey, you know what? I like that. And if the opportunity comes up again, I would happily do it. And now they probably have more respect, too, for a community that they didn't understand as well. And maybe they were indoctrinated or brought up to have intolerance towards, unfortunately. So that's an identity, too. You know, that's why when you say, you know, straight people marching in solidarity with the gay community, because identity is just, it's more than just black and white. There's just so many dimensions to it. There's so many alternative identities. And this month to me is celebrating all of them all at once. Even like I said, the straight folks who are like, you know what? Yeah, I did that and it felt good and I'd do it again. I'd let it happen again. So really cool that the 10,000 subscribers just so happen to be celebrated in a month where we celebrate identity. I mean, I don't think it's just a coincidence. That's one thing I really like to use my platform for. I like to teach people to not be ashamed of who they are, you know, to have pride in your identity, because people are pretty different. We have our interests, and a lot of us have things that we really like. We've liked it ever since we were a kid. We grew up to continue liking it. It's part of who we are, and it will always be who we are. And as long as it's harmless, there is nothing wrong with that. There's always been one of my core messages since the beginning when I started this channel. And I continue to make that my main core message. It's like, I'm open about who I am and what I like and the experiences I've had. And I do that because I like to make other people out there comfortable about who they are and what they like. And I also like to open up the minds of people who, you know, hearing this is going to help them be more understanding and accepting. Because we all live in the same society here, and we know there's judgments and stigmas and misunderstandings and just inherited intolerance that we can all learn to become better about. And I like to be a positive force in that. I like to let people know, like, hey, you know, you see me here, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I like, and this is what I stand for. This is what I'm all about. And for 8.5 years now, that's been my stance, and it has not changed. So it makes it all the more special to know that I get to have this unique platform, and I get to reach so many people around the world. And just seeing as time goes on, the reach just increases. It's reaching more and more people, and I'm getting to have an impact on the lives of more and more people. And like, you guys have to understand too that this whole experience is having an impact on me too. It's doing wonders for my life. It's teaching me things. Like, you may not see it because it's behind the scenes, but when I film video commissions for people, it's almost like getting introduced to a new friend. I'm meeting another person out there, another alternative identity, like I was mentioning earlier. And like I said, we all have things that we like. I get to film something unique just for them that they really like. And it's like, oh, that's really interesting. I get to learn more about another person. And then I develop these special relationships with these fans, even if it's somebody that just comes around and commissions me, say, for one video. Like, that's cool. It's like, hey, We had a little interaction. We got to know each other a little better. We made an impact on each other's lives. And then I have fans who regularly come around and get video commissions from me. And it's like, hey, it's like an old friend. It's like, yeah, I know you. I know what you like. I got you. You know, I'm going to make that impact on your life. I'm going to continue making you happy. I'm going to continue making you feel good. And like I said, it makes me feel good. It's a good impact on me as well. It is mutually beneficial. And I have absolutely no plans on stopping. This is literally my life now, guys. This is what I do for a living. I look forward to it. Every day I log in, I check the business emails. Because I do this full time now, because I've been getting so much support that I don't work a part-time job anymore. I get to put my full focus on doing this. I mean, I'm able to film commissions, if not on the same day, on the very next day. You know, I get to just be on top of it. This is literally my life, and I am very happy with this being my life. I really am. Like, I feel like I am living a dream, and you guys are all part of this dream. Okay? It's like a dream, but we're awake, and we get to live it together, and I want to continue living that dream with you guys. And I feel like even though it might be, like I said, a small corner of the internet, just a small corner of YouTube, an underground channel, I feel like we are making an impact on society. You know, we are working together. This message is getting out. It's reaching more people. It's opening up more minds, and they're seeing it, and they're joining my tribe. I like to call it my tribe because I'm primal, right? Primal instincts. You're a member of my tribe. More people find the tribe, and they become hip to what I'm sharing. The message I'm putting out there, it opens up their mind, and they say, you know, they can have a couple different reactions to it. They can say, I identify as that. I can relate to that. I feel like I belong. Or they can say, hey, I've gone my whole life wondering who I am and what I like because it's different than what I was raised to believe was normal. And this guy's explaining me down to a T. That's what I am. And now you know there's a lot of people out there just like you. You're not alone. You're not an alien. You're not a freak. You know, I love being a voice for the lost and lonely because, you know me, I'm really independent. I'm not a breeder. That doesn't appeal to me, right? Like, I dated girls throughout high school, but by 11th grade, I was already done dating. I already gave up on that. I was like, it's just not for me. I just don't care for it. Like, I have a sexual side. I have like a bit of a romantic side, but I'm not really into like the mushy romance stuff. It's just not for me. Like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. And it was really hard for me to understand that because the way I was raised, like, that's not normal. It's not an option. It's like, oh no, you know, everybody does that. Everybody's into that. Everybody wants that. I never wanted it. So it's kind of hard growing up in a society when you're not taught that what you are is a thing. And it leaves you wondering, like, it just leaves you confused. Like, am I broken? Is there something wrong with me? Is this something that I need to work on or change? But what we have to understand is that is actually a legitimate identity. And just because it wasn't in your school books or something that your parents told you about, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that you and your identity don't exist. It doesn't mean that your identity is not valid. And that's what I'm here to tell you. And I'm here to tell you that, like I said, I may not be homosexual, but I have an alternative identity. So I get it, I relate, and I love this position that I was propelled to. Because you watch the early videos on this channel, and the early impression you're going to get is like, hey, this is just a group of friends that were inspired by like MTV's Jackass, just being weird and gross together for fun on the internet, doing the social media thing. That's exactly how the channel started, guys. That is exactly how it started. But the audience that found me, they saw something more than just like people goofing around. Hey, these guys are getting drunk and just horse playing around. Ha ha ha, so funny. No, they saw something more than just that. They're like, hey, you guys have a great friendship. Reminds me of me and my boyfriend. You guys have such a strong bond, even though you're just friends. And I like watching you for that bond. Because I remember, I've read Steve-O's book from Jackass, and I remember him saying at one chapter in that book, he said, we used to get a lot of letters from people, from fans of the show, and a lot of times we get letters from gay couples, and they would say, hey man, you guys horsing around half naked on camera, I know you guys are just doing it for fun, and to be like a crazy group on a TV show, but it really resonates with me on a different level. And Steve-O was like, you know what, I'm totally cool with that, man. Like, that's totally cool. Like, that's a fan, that's making some sort of good impact, and I looked at it the same way. I was like, hey, that's fine. Whatever you enjoy watching the antics for, that's okay with me. Because my goal of being a creator and putting myself out there, it's to make you feel good. Like I think that's the whole point of being an artist in general. An artist, whether you're a poet, a singer, or a video filmer, whatever it is, your goal is to create something that makes people feel something. And that's what I do, you know. I've had people tell me I'm a one-stop shop. It's like, hey, you make me smile, you make me laugh, you turn me on. Primal does it all. And it's really cool to hear that and to know I have that kind of impact on people just from being me. That's what has made this fun and made me continue doing it for as many years as I have with no someone's emailing me. With no plans on stopping, because it's just been such an incredible thing. You know, I've had a lot of fun and I've made such an impact, and just like I have all these great memories, and man, I'm gonna keep doing it forever. I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can. So it may have started off being friends just goofing around, but then an audience found us, they found my channel, they were open and said, hey, I really like this. It connects with me on a real personal level. And I said, that's cool. And then before you know it, people are asking me if they can commission me for videos. People are asking if they can buy my clothing. I was like, wow, like people really like me. They really like me. Like I'm glad I put myself out there like that. I'm glad I was just open in myself, because the fact that people like me so much and I've been being myself since the beginning, that's how I know that this is a real thing. That's how I know that what I'm doing is right. People like me for me. They love me for me. And I get to have these, I consider them relationships. It is a type of relationship, you know, to make that connection with somebody, and just the opportunity to film video commissions for people. And everybody tells me how much they love them and how good it makes them feel and how it makes their day if they're feeling down. Like just hearing that, man, it does a lot for me too. Like I said, you guys are having an impact on me. So I don't want to draw this out too long. I just want to say thank you for 10,000 subscribers. Thank you for the back-to-back record-breaking views these past few months. Thank you for all the continued support. Everybody who's been pledged to me for years on Patreon now, that means a lot. Whoever's purchased behind the scenes extras, whoever's purchased clothing from me, and everybody just watching the videos, you know, because like I said, the ad revenue, like it all helps out a lot, and I really appreciate all of it on the whole. So thank you again. Happy Pride Month to everybody. No matter what you identify as, your identity matters, okay? We are all in this tribe together. I am your chieftain. I am your leader. Okay, let me do a little flex for you guys. You're like, man, you can't do a 10K celebration without giving us a little flex, Primal. Come on, let me see those guns. Ooh, wee. Yeah, I'm in a good mood. I really appreciate it, guys. It really does mean a lot. Let me show my back. Let me show you a little back, too. Ooh. Oh. The strength you give me, it makes me stronger. And I will use that strength to propel our tribe, our community, onward and upward, as I have been for 8.5 years. So, thank you, guys. Again, I can't say it enough. I'm going to keep saying it. Seriously, it means a lot. I love you all, and I think I'm going to have to end this stream with a stomp. So, here's this stomp is for 10K subscribers and beyond. Let's go! Romp Stompa.